So I'm all set up my end to begin this training. Hopefully we'll get a few more people come in. I don't know if whether people are having difficulty because we're not on a Zoom, which we normally are in Go Branch. But hopefully we'll get some more people come in. But in the meantime, I will start because we are on a time crunch today. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Michelle Dale. I've been a virtual assistant since 2005. And hi, Stacey. And I have basically been teaching virtual assistants since 2011. And my primary business has always been, probably always will be, providing services to clients. And the reason why I continue to do that alongside the training is because I always needed to have that training ground to be able to update my training, to be able to move with the times, to be able to find new things to share with you and teach you. Hi, Patricia. So that's basically how it's all come about. Where are you guys coming in from, by the way? I'm just curious to see where you are. Because we always have some unusual names. Kugomotso. I'm not sure if I said that right. But welcome everybody. Okay, so I've been teaching since then, and basically I've come across so many, or I've been through so many changes since I originally began training. And today I'm releasing oh, Portugal. Hi, I know VAs in Portugal because I did some public speaking there at an event, a VA event. Lovely place. I was in Lisbon. So I've been teaching since 2011, and I really wanted this time to create something different. So it has literally been 2018, so 6 years since my last one sourcing update. And I've done bits and pieces in between, but I've never done something so drastic and so dramatic as what I've done for you guys now. So inside this video, you are going to learn a few things. You're going to learn what my brand new free training is. So we had a free training that we've replaced now. It's something called Level Up, which I'm going to share with you and tell you about. It's completely free. You can get access to it now. So we'll go through that. Then I will go through the reasons why this training is different to any other virtual assistant training out there. That's a very bold statement coming from me, but I have been in the industry for nearly 20 years now, and I have seen a lot of the training and resources that are coming out, and I've been keeping a close eye on things, and I've also been keeping a close eye on my own training, and I really wanted this to be something very, very different, and it really is. And so we're going to go talk about that. Then we're going to talk about how you can transform your virtual assistant business in 3 months, in as little as 3 months. So all of this, like I've literally had VAs come to me for training that have been from course to course to course, and they have literally been spending months, sometimes years, trying to get to the point where they can even get a stable client base going. And that, I'm going to say, is a little bit unacceptable. It doesn't need to be that. That is definitely a disconnect in some kind of mindset training. You know, there's something that's missing. There is a link, a weak link in that needs to be fixed. And I'm going to show you guys and tell you guys how that can be fixed and how you can literally pull your VA business back together within 3 months. And then I'm going to talk to you about a very special one-on-one training that I am going to be offering people for a limited time as part of the beta of releasing this training. So that's what we've got to come, and that's what pretty much I'm going to be sharing throughout this process. So the first thing I want to share with you, and I'm going to turn my camera off now, and we're going to go into screen share. So I'm going to flick into my little circle cam. Hey Connie, I'm going to flick into my little circle cam here, and I'm going to share my screen so I can give you a little rundown of what's happening here. Okay. So this is pretty small. You probably want to go super widescreen, but on the replay, it's going to be much bigger. So basically, One Sourcing is made up of, it's actually 7 pieces or 7 parts, which I'm going to take you through and walk you through. We're going to talk about them today. Now, the reason I've broken it down into 7 pieces is because these are the key, core, primary pieces that virtual assistants really need in order to have a thriving, growing business. But they are also the biggest problem areas as well that virtual assistants have. Welcome everybody who's just joining now. The biggest problem areas that virtual assistants have as they are growing their business. So the first one we have is One Sourcing Zero, Ground Zero, which is Level Up, okay? So if you have not seen Level Up, I will put the link in the chat. Welcome everybody who has just joined. So this is Level Up. It's completely free. It will not cost you anything. I explain on this little intro video on the page what it's all about. But basically, what I've condensed this training into is literally 28 steps to what you could take into probably a multi-6-figure VA business. I'm going to say 6 figures, but it literally is scalable to the multi-6 figures, which is what I did with my business. Now, this level is really about understanding. You absolutely need to go into your virtual assistant business fully understanding what lies ahead of you. And when people don't, it tends to be a little bit piecemeal. You know, people are picking up a little bit of training from here with some things, and then they're like, oh, I need to fit that in, so I need that, and then I need to do this. And then it's a little bit piecemeal, and you end up with all these kind of different pieces of a puzzle, but they're not connecting because they're coming from different places and they're not quite fitting together. So then what the virtual assistant thinks is like, I've done something wrong, or I'm doing something wrong, or, you know, I'm not doing what I should be doing. And it really is not the case. It's simply the approach to the training and the approach to the coaching, which is causing these stumbling blocks. It's almost like you have these steps ahead of you, you know, whether you're thinking about stepping stones or going upstairs. And you can clearly see, you know, that there are several ahead of you, but there are some you can't see. So on the ones you can't quite see, maybe they're a little bit hidden, you skip and you go to the next one. But the problem is that step that you skipped still needs to be taken. And if you don't, no matter how well you do in the other areas, it's still going to produce this problem where it's just not going to quite work and not come together. So Level Up is really about getting it out on the table and saying to you guys, look, there's 28 things you got to do. Sorry, 24 things you got to do, 24 steps. So you can clearly see, have I done this? This is why Level Up is free. This is why Level Up comes with the masterclass video, which is half an hour long, you can watch. And if you go into all rooms in the bottom of your screen here, not now while I'm talking, but afterwards, you can see the masterclass in there. If you don't want to sign up for it through the website on virtualmissfriday.com Level Up, you can see the masterclass in there. But don't forget, when you sign up on the website, there is a checklist book. There is literally a checklist book that goes through all of these steps. So if you're thinking like, is there a disconnect? Have I missed something? Go through these steps, find the missing piece, and work through it. This is what I wanted to do first. Level 0, get it out on the table, tell you exactly what needs to be done, okay? And again, we're talking about 6 figures, multi-6 figures. We're talking about taking this all the way. This is like high-end virtual assistant training. I do have a training that takes you through the basics. This is not that. This is a diverse, all-encompassing, this is everything you're going to need to be a rockstar virtual assistant. So Level Up is the first level, and that is completely free, and you can go and get that right now at virtualmissfriday.com/level up. Okay, so where do we go from there? Well, There are literally 6 other levels to this. There is our foundation level, our entrepreneur level, our operations level, our finance level, our clients level, and our teams level. Now, each level of these is in-depth training. And I'm going to share with you now as we go through onto our OneSourcing page, which I'll also put in the chat box here. So this is our OneSourcing page, and this is about the training. So for anybody who has ever taken training, and remember, I've been training since 2011. I released OneSourcing a little bit before. I did a big update in 2018 of my OneSourcing training. So a lot of people have already been taking it. We've produced a lot of 6-figure virtual assistant businesses in that, but my focus was not on the businesses that were succeeding this time. It was trying to fix the issues with the businesses that weren't succeeding. This was my goal within all this. And for sure, we've had a lot of success. You know, if you go into the surveys that the UK VA Society have done, we've come out tops in the most successful virtual assistant businesses that have come out of the training. So it really was working very, very well before, but it can always be better. And that was my thinking. And then honestly, one day I woke up and I just had this revelation about how the training was being conducted, because I was conducting the training, how I'd taken many training courses before, how generally traditional training courses were put together, and I would create my training like that because I thought, well, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. But clearly there was something broken, because why aren't we paying attention to the people that are struggling? You know, why aren't we paying attention to the people that have difficulty following through? Why aren't we paying attention to the people that seemingly have done everything right, but there's something not quite right with the results that they're receiving? So I really gave this a lot of thought. I meditated on it. I journaled about it. And one day, it was like a revelation. I knew exactly what I needed to do. And then I quickly started putting my plans into action to create this new program. So now what I'm going to start sharing with you is, we've shared the level up, which is the foundation, which is the free foundation. Now I'm going to share with you all the gaps that we're filling in the 24 steps that get you to where you want to be as a virtual assistant. So let's begin. So as you know, we are doing this very special launch right now. This is the brand new revamp of OneSourcing. So it comes with this free training. It comes with this live session today, and you'll be able to ask me questions at the end if you have any. It also comes with a massive discount off of the program, you know, and I'm total cards on the table here. This is a program that's taken me 20 years to put together, 20 years of experience. 20 years of knowledge, understanding, trying, testing, more than 100 clients, probably hired more than 100 VAs at this point. So there's a lot in depth, and to be able to condense all that knowledge down into 24 steps was quite a challenge, but I was willing to rise to it. So because this is the beta of the new version, it's super guided, it's super supported, because I'm going to be releasing this training periodically so that I can really make sure that you guys are fully understanding it, fully taking it, because I need to see results from you guys before the end of this 3 months. Like, I have to know that this new method of training is working. Pretty confident, because it's the same knowledge, just added to, reworked, reformatted, into something that I think is going to create a lot of success for the people that maybe don't particularly gel with the more traditional courses or the more traditional format of the way things are taught. And then on the 18th of May, which is my birthday, and I am turning, oh my gosh, 43, that's why we got 43% off. On the 18th of May, I will be releasing the first level, and we will begin working together on the first level. So this isn't like a kind of like, oh, you join and then I, you know, like a set and forget type thing. I'm here with you for the next 3 months, and we're gonna really rock this thing. And I'm so excited for me to see what comes out of this, and I'm so excited for you, because literally in the next 3 months, you could have completely transformed your virtual assistant business into the vision that you want it to be. So this is super exciting. So as we move down, I'm going to take you through the page now. There is a video at the top of the page. Do watch that. It's about 20 minutes long. It does take you through kind of what I'm going to generally be sharing with you right now. Everyone's excited. Me, I'm super excited. And basically, first of all, I want to talk about whether this training is right for you. Now, this is definitely right for you if you are starting your virtual assistant business, if you want to do the prevention is better than cure method, because literally if you start from scratch in this, you're completely in the right 24 steps to take you where you need to be. Now, if you're not starting from scratch, let's say you've done some training, you've had your virtual assistant business a while, maybe it's a bit of an on-off, you know, like starting, stopping. It's never quite got that momentum going and it's never quite got that consistency going, then this is also for you. If you are a virtual assistant and you're kind of making ends meet and you've reached that kind of ceiling cap of income earnings, you're not quite pushing past that, this is always also for you. And if you are somebody who is in your virtual assistant business and just saying to yourself, like, I'm just not seeing the results that I want to see. This is not what I envisioned. This is not what I had in mind for myself. And maybe you are finding isolated problems like, oh, I'm really good at getting clients, but maybe I'm not quite good at retaining them, or I'm good at getting clients, but maybe I'm not quite good at the project management stuff because it's just not staying profitable. This is going to answer all those itty-bitty isolated problems, and I'm going to talk to you in a minute about how this is going to work. So literally you don't have to sit there thinking, what am I going to do? Am I going to have to go back over, find new training, find something else? No, you don't. This is the gift that keeps on giving. And that's how it's been designed. So if you need structure, if you're feeling overwhelmed with the way things are at the moment, even if you're somebody who is like doing really well in the business, taking lots of clients in, but you're kind of in that stress, overwhelm, oh my God, I can't cope kind of mode, this is also going to help you. I've built everything in, like everything that could possibly go right, wrong, left, up, down, sideways, it's in here. So basically, this is for any VA. And even if you've already taken training, let's say you have another mentor, there are so many amazing virtual assistant mentors, coaches, trainers out there that are teaching and training and sharing information. I would say that will not be wasted because OneSourcing will fit in and adapt to any virtual assistant business or training that has already been done. It's simply a case of maybe potentially refining or seeing where gaps have been missed or little holes in what's been going on, so you can finally kind of plug that and then say, oh my God, like I fixed it. That's my aim for you. So no, it's not you. Like if you're sitting there wondering, I've done all the training, I've done all the steps, I've done this, I've done that, I've got everything set up that I was told to do, and I'm still not seeing the results, I'm still not seeing that dream virtual assistant business that I want to see, then don't worry, it's not your fault. It really isn't. There is a solution, and it simply is about going through these motions to be able to pinpoint that. And ironically, I live in Egypt, and I live right next to the Sahara Desert, and you know, this whole genie and lamp thing came to me because it really is the genie and the lamp. You know, OneSourcing is, you rub the lamp and it's like OneSourcing's wish, you know, your wish is my command. What can I do for you? And it really is about that. You know, you've got a problem, I need to fix it. Go to OneSourcing, because I guarantee you, whether you're able to know exactly what step you need to go to yourself, or whether you need me to tell you, okay, go here, then I can absolutely do that. And we can isolate these problems. We don't have to make a mountain out of a molehill. You know, like there is one thing about the virtual assistant business that is really interesting, and I think this is slightly different to most other businesses, is that you can have like 10 things right, and if there's one thing wrong, nothing else is going to work. You know, that's because of the tech, it's because of the difficulty of working online, the remoteness. But you know, when you suddenly think there's one thing wrong but everything's going wrong, suddenly you think everything is wrong, but it's not the case. And it can happen much quicker. The change and the shift into fixing things and making them right can happen much quicker when you think than you think, because you can literally pinpoint the problem. You know, it's like a pipe with a hole in it. You just plug up the hole and it's working again. You don't need to replace the whole pipe. So this is what one sourcing is, the premise of one sourcing. And as most people will know here, I build my virtual assistant business training not around the business as primary. I build it around the lifestyle as primary. So always in my training, it's never about killing yourself and getting as many clients as you can. It's really about designing your lifestyle, deciding what you want for yourself in life, and then building your business around that. And that's what I did, and I'm super happy with it, and I would strongly encourage everyone else to do the same, because that's what makes life fulfilling. That's what makes you a better VA, because you're having a fantastic life around that, and you're not simply waking up in the morning, crawling to the desk, working with as many clients as you possibly can to try and make ends meet, and then doing the same the next day. So now let's take a moment to imagine what that process could mean for you in terms of travel, living abroad, having the income that you really want to earn, being able to stay at home with your kids. Lifestyle design is about doing whatever you want to do. It's about being whatever you want to be and having whatever you want to have. And that is the primary foundation of one sourcing, this whole methodology that you build the business around the lifestyle. So this isn't just virtual assistant training. This is almost like, partial life coaching, because we need to focus on that first before we can build the business. Because, and this is another big problem, a lot of virtual assistants will build their business and not factoring in and considering the lifestyle aspect of it. And then they will build parts of it so it would make it impossible for them to have the lifestyle that they want to have. And it's quite clear to me to see that, because I've kind of been through those motions, but it's not always clear to other people. So it's really important to do it the other way around. Okay, so Martha's here, and Martha's also on this page, and she's had massive success. So do reach out to Martha at Martha's SOS. I'm sure she'd be happy to share with you, but she's also got a little video on there if you want to take a look at it. And again, other virtual assistants getting the same success and the same results, but not everybody, and we always talk about the good stuff, but I really wanted to focus on those kind of people that maybe are thinking to themselves, I'm not cut out for this or anything like that, then I want this to really be the solution for you too. So let's talk about the levels a little bit. So we talked about level 0, which is the level up. It's the checklist. It's the 24 steps that need to be taken to the 6-figure business model. Then we have our foundation. Now our foundation is all about the guidelines of the business, okay? Nobody really writes these guidelines into the business, and to me, they should be the primary thing, because it's almost like, this is the lifestyle design thing as well, and the lifestyle design aspect coming in, but it's about really setting the tone of how your virtual assistant business is going to show up and how you want those clients to show up in your virtual assistant business. So these guidelines are paramount. You absolutely need to be able to have these guidelines in place. And this is 4 steps. Okay, these guidelines in the foundation are 4 steps of the process. So the first 4 steps are literally about understanding and learning the rules of the game. Okay, nobody can play Monopoly without sitting there and knowing how to play. Otherwise, it's just a few pieces and some money and some cards, and you don't really know what you're doing. There are rules to every game, and there are rules to this game too. So if you don't know the rules of the virtual assistant game, then now's the time to learn. There are 4 parts to this process. Then we have the next 4 parts, which is the entrepreneur. Now, the entrepreneur is about planning. It's about the strategy. It's about the structure. If you don't know what you're doing, you can't just piece things together and hope they're going to work and connect and just kind of be there. It's like, walking on stilts almost. You can fall off at any moment. So what we want to do is know exactly, I've got a disconnect in my marketing. Go and do that. I've got a disconnect in my strategy for getting clients or launching my business. Go and do that. It's a step. Marketing is a step, So there are 4 more steps. We're going to talk about these steps in more detail in a second, but I'm just trying to give you the kind of overall big picture here. So 4 steps are about planning, strategy, structure, organizing, where are we taking this thing, what do we need to do, and how does it all fit together. Then we have the operations. So the operations about the systems of the business, okay? So what systems do you need? You actually need a lot less than you think you need. And since time has evolved, we've found a lot more systems are combining themselves into the all-in-one solutions, which is amazing because it means we need a lot less. So we need simple, functional, efficient business systems that are going to allow us to work efficiently, work quickly, and this is also really essential for profitability because of the marketing aspect of it. You don't want to keep spending too much time on things that are non-income generating processes, tasks, that type of thing. So we're setting up our operations to have bare minimum non-income generating tasks or direct income generating tasks. So we go through that. There's 4 steps, another 4 steps on the ladder. So again, it's like at every piece you can come back and think, oh, okay, I've got a problem with my operations. Which one of these 4 things is it? You'll be able to identify it because I teach you everything in the program. Okay, so then we move on to finance, which is level 4. Finance is the big one. These are probably the final, like, really big 3 in the major problem stakes of virtual assistant businesses. So keeping the business profitable, where you're not losing every penny of your income because you're just working too much on it, too many hours. Then, or, you know, maybe clients are sucking time, that type of thing. So we want to keep the business profitable. We want a pricing model that's going to be super efficient. No more clock watching, no more logging hours, no more time reports, all that kind of stuff. So we want to keep that to one side. And we want financial guidance as to the basic facilities that we need and the basic things that we need to do in order to kind of have a financially functional business. You know, let's talk about, you know, expenses, payments, costs, how to do packages, how to make sure they're profitable packages, how to factor in those different things, and keep everything running smoothly. How do we accept payments? When do we invoice? That type of thing. It's very basic stuff, but again, there needs to be a strategy behind it. And if you're not following the step, you know, you might be able to look at it if finance is one of your problems, and you might be able to say, okay, well, this is a step, and I know I'm not doing that piece. I know I'm not doing that step. So if I fix that, maybe everything else will fall into place aside from it. Then we have level 5, which is clients. Again, big one. One of the biggest problems that virtual assistants face is getting clients. And honestly, I'm not surprised because I have a couple of Facebook groups. One has, I think it's like 57,000 members right now. The other one has about 16,000 members. And the approach that people take in these groups to getting clients is diabolical. So I'm not surprised that a lot of people struggle to get clients. But then again, there are 4 steps. There are 4 steps in the client generating process. So once you find that disconnect, what are the 4 things that you need to be doing, and what is the 1, 2, 3, or 4 things that you're not doing, you'll know how to fix it and move forward. Okay, and that it really is that simple. So 4 more steps in the client level. And then the final level, when we get to the top, where we're at our 24 steps, 4 more steps in teams. So this level is really for you to tuck away once you get to the point where you decide and say to yourself, I've come as far as I can on my own, because everyone has a limit to what they can do on their own. Do I now want to stay where I am? Or do I want to explore the possibility of potentially working and collaborating with other virtual assistants? So what I've done in Teams is something quite special. All the other levels are basically for you. You watch them, you go through them. But the Teams one, only 1 step is specifically for you. The other 3 steps are for the people that you hire. Now, essentially what I've done is taken on the role of training your team, of onboarding your team members, of doing the intake process, of sharing and explaining and teaching them exactly how they need to fit in to this type of business. So 3 of the steps on there are designed specifically for speaking to anybody that you potentially hire. The first step is about making sure you hire the right people, how to do it, how to put it together, how to make sure you do that hiring process and it works out well. The other 3 steps are for your team members after you've taken them on. And those steps really create like the circle of life here, because that encourages them to do better, to be better, to get better results, and then that will impact your business, and it's just, again, the gift that keeps on giving. So those are the 6 levels which make up One Sourcing, and each of these levels has 4 of the steps inside, and that makes up 24 steps, okay? So I would say, and the reason why I said this is 6 to multi-6 is because sometimes you might need to consider hiring team members if you want to go into multi-6. It's up, you know, it's kind of like one of those things where we have to play it by ear, because again, it all depends on the VA and what they're able to charge for their services. So I've got VAs that I've worked with who are doing $10,000 a month packages, which may seem a little bit out of reach to people, but if you do my accountability and mindset work, that probably might seem like quite reasonable to you in the end. So we're literally covering every end of the spectrum here. Okay, so now let's move along. Basically, I go into sharing that it wasn't always like this for me. I did have a period of time where I got burnt out. I did have a period of time where I had to let one of my biggest clients go. One of my biggest clients was a retainer of about 11,000 euros a month, and I took the decision one day to let that client go. And so I've really kind of had a lot of ups and downs in my business, and what I have come to realize is that what's really truly important, and again, I've built this in to the program because I don't want you guys coming to me and saying you're doing great financially, but you're feeling sick and tired and can't go on and you need to get rid of some clients. That's where I was, and that's where I'm no longer, because I knew exactly what to do at that point. So that's also built in. So this is a very healthy way forward in the business, where hopefully you're not going to feel like the business is running you and not the other way around. Welcome to everybody who's been joining. Okay, so for me, I'm going to share with you what virtual assistance means to me. And I would always say this, whenever you're looking at taking training or doing any training as a virtual assistant, where you want to reach a certain level or achieve a certain result, it's really important that you choose the right person to work with you. So I'm not saying I'm right for everybody, but I can share with you the results that I've had. And if you would like to get similar results, then it is a case of really just doing what I've done, which is what this One Sourcing is all about. But you can also look at other virtual assistants who are doing training in this space and say, well, I really like the ones that that person has had, the results that they've achieved, so I'm going to go with that person. So I've added this in because I want to kind of give you a general idea of where I'm at in my virtual assistant business, so you can decide and say to yourself, okay, would I want that for myself too? So the first thing is, my virtual assistant business has been very stable. So I started in 2005. We're now way ahead of that, which is unbelievable to me because I never imagined it would go this far. But 19 years on, I'm still going very strong, still loving it, and still using the virtual assistant business to provide for my family. It has always been the primary earner, breadwinner, primary income generator. And I don't have a small family. I have 5 children, so that's a lot of kids to take care of and a lot of mouths to feed and a big house that we need. But I've loved every minute of growing and developing it. So I definitely would say that stability is at the front of my... It's at the front of my methodology around this. I want everyone to have stable incomes. That's everyone's dream, I think. You know, who doesn't want a stable income? But I would love to be able to get everyone to the point where they're having a stable income so they don't feel afraid. So they don't feel afraid of, like, you know, going month to month, wondering whether a client will drop off, wondering whether they'll be able to get another client if that does happen. So that's primary for me. Then we have lifestyle. So I live a great lifestyle. I've traveled a lot. I'm getting a bit older now, and I do have two very small children, but we've lived across 7 countries as an expat kind of resident type thing. I've had residences in Greece and Italy, in Spain, I've lived in France, I've had my children in different countries as well, but now I'm settled here in Egypt. I've been here for about 6 years and absolutely loving it and loving the lifestyle here, and that's what this is all about for me. And I do have my dream car. I just thought I would let that in there. It's a Volkswagen Beetle, so anybody who's into bugs, let me know, because I'm super into bugs, like geeky. Then there's my location. So I have a really beautiful home. And again, I'm not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon you the possibilities that can arise or come off the back of this training. So I live in a beautiful villa with a pool, and it's just fantastic. It's right in the center of town, but it's also right directly on the Red Sea. So I have the sea and the mountains and the sun every day, and who wouldn't want that? So that's my life. Then there's also the parenting aspect. So I've been home with all my kids. Again, the business has been the primary earner. It's been the primary income. For many years, the absolute sole thing that was funding us. And I've been at home with all of my 5 kids, which I feel so grateful for. It's also given me purpose every day. It's given me real purpose in my life. Being able to start from scratch and start from nothing, and really I did know nothing when I began. All I knew is that I didn't want to go back to the 9 to 5, the rat race. I didn't want to go back to commuting. I didn't want to go back to the UK. I wanted to live this lifestyle of sun, sea, sand, freedom, and the only thing I could think of at the time was to start a virtual assistant business, and it has really driven me so much. It's driven me because of the aspect of having the freedom. It's driven me because of the aspect of being there for my children and not having to reverse back and go to work and, you know, having a play group or something that takes them. You know, they've been with me. I've seen all the kids do their first steps and say their first words, and it's been gorgeous. And it's given me purpose then to think, well, maybe I can help other people do the same thing. You know, if there is anything in my power, if you come to me and say, Michelle, this is what I really want to do, I'm pretty confident that I can find a way for you to use a virtual assistant business to do whatever you want to do. And I don't even need to know what that is. Right now, I'm pretty confident I can get you there. And then finally, there is the wealth aspect. This is the last thing for me, to be honest with you. Everyone talks about the dream 6-figure business. And for sure, I think that's necessary now in today's day and age. Everything is so expensive. Everything's got very expensive. So you really want to be earning a minimum of a 6-figure virtual assistant business. If you're going to put this time and effort in, you want to be able to reap the rewards. And I have done over the years. I've had these dream 6-figure launches, which have been phenomenal. I've helped clients do multiple 6-figure launches. And I've also developed my business from zero, nothing. I was working for free in the beginning of my business, and very quickly took it into 6 figures and then multi 6 figures. So I kind of know what I'm talking about a little bit, and it's been my real life's work, because the last 20 years, it's been my life's work to put this into a format which I can share with you, and you can look at it and not just be completely overwhelmed. So it's very, very step by step, hence the 24 steps, hence the 6 key areas, and hence the 4 steps in each area. It's going to make it very doable for you guys. More testimonials there, and if you want to go to the top of the page and click on the praise tab, there's still loads more testimonials. So like I say, as we walk through, each of the levels has 4 parts. I will say as well, let me go back up here to this section, because you're probably wondering, can you access everything right now? Because this is beta, and because I want it fully guided and I want to really fully support you through this process, I'm releasing each level every 2 weeks, because I consider that a super reasonable time to be able to work through each level. So basically what you're doing is 2 steps a week. Okay, and then you're at the end and it's done. So the 18th of May, which is my birthday, you're going to be able to get foundation level 1. Okay, so then 2 weeks later, 1st of June, we go into entrepreneur. 2 weeks later, 15th of June, we go into operations. 2 weeks later, 29th of June, we go into finance. The 13th of July, we're into clients. And then we finish off on the 27th of July in teams. This is so I can make sure you're fully guided through it. This is so you also don't get overwhelmed. And I can really make sure that you concentrate on piece by piece, because I have released training completely in its entirety before, and people have gone and skipped a lot of it and said, oh, I took this and, you know, it's like I don't have to do it and it's not working. And I'm like, well, you've skipped all the other pieces, so you kind of need to go back to the beginning. So I think people sometimes have this shiny object syndrome where they want to get right to the bit that interests them, but it really does build on each other. So I need to make sure you guys follow everything in order, hence the 2-week release. And like I say, if we do the 2-week release, you get to do 2 steps every single week, which is gonna work out really well for you. And then by doing that, it's kind of like condensing it down, but not giving you too much at the same time. You're able to focus, you're able to concentrate. At the end of each piece, you're able to come to me and say, okay, I've done this, but I've got a question about this. And I'm giving you a complete planner inside the program to work through to make sure you're not skipping anything that is super important. Okay, so going past this, so we've got our foundation 4 steps. We've got our introduction to the guidelines to the business model. We've got our mindset piece, which is super important because we've got to get you in that entrepreneurial mindset, out of the employee mentality. We've got our boot camp, which is the crash course in one sourcing. It's a total crash course in how the whole business is going to come together. And we've got our values, which is the one thing that I think is amazing that's built into this, because so many VAs come into the virtual assistant industry without confidence, and you really need confidence. So I decided, hey, in level 1, I'm just going to give people built-in confidence. And that's exactly what it is. So these values are going to show you that by adopting this model and using one sourcing, you actually can have immediate confidence. And that's the beauty of the values. And the other beauty of this is I wanted to make the foundation level super accessible for people. So it's only £47 at full price, but we're doing 43% off right now. So you can literally pick up this level for £26.79, okay? That is a bargain, that is a steal. And believe me, everything that you pick up, the knowledge that you're gonna pick up from that is insane. And if you decide, okay, well, I'm not going to do the other levels, I'm just going to focus on this one, you are going to derive so much value just from this one level, which is just the guidelines. It's just kind of saying, these are the rules of the game. This is the rules of the game. You can pick it up right now for £26.79, but it's going to be released on the 18th of May on Saturday. Then we move into the entrepreneur level, like I said, 4 steps. The structure, where you need to be, the presence, so how you need to put yourself out there online, the marketing. Okay, we're keeping it simple here, and we're keeping it simple because there's 2 types of marketing. There's direct marketing and indirect marketing. I explain both inside the program, but we're doing we're doing indirect marketing in this one, and then direct marketing in clients, because I really want you to focus more on the client marketing than the indirect marketing, which is another big mistake virtual assistants make, is I think it's the same thing and it's not. And then we're going to show you how to do the beta launch and to actually get your business out there. So this is all planning. Then the next 4 levels are about systems. So we're looking at your equipment, what you need, the facilities that you need to set up, what you need to actually operate and run. We're looking at the website. I actually give you a website template inside there, so you don't even have to think about that. If you're a website list right now, you won't be. Then we've got the orientation, which is all about bringing clients into orientation and really wowing them and giving that huge wow factor. And then we've got the management, which is the processing of the work to keep things smooth, efficient, effective. This is really about streamlining and making everything super functional, because we don't want to be spending time on non-income generating tasks if we can help it. So let's keep that super efficient. Then we go into finance. I hate finance, by the way, but I'm putting it in because it's essential and it's compulsory. So we talk about accounting in this one, you know, your basic setup, you know, how to make sure you don't drop the ball on the expenses and the costs of the business. Then we go into pricing your packages. One of the biggest problems that VAs face. What do I charge and how do I put it together so I don't lose money? We also talk about the budget model inside there, which is another step. The budget model is something that I introduced way long ago inside my business. So glad I did. And now the way I'm teaching this is like super in depth into how to manage a budget, how to keep it profitable. And then we're doing communication, which is really about how you effectively communicate your pricing to the clients so you don't get any of those, oh my God, I can get cheaper elsewhere, or oh my God, that seems really expensive. No, we're gonna put an end to that. We need to stop that because it's not good for you, it's not good for the client. And literally, if anybody says that it's too expensive afterwards, I guarantee 100% it's because they just simply can't afford you. Everything else that may even give them a hint of that, they're going to come away thinking, wow, this is a bargain. Like, this is such a bargain. Not because it's cheap, but because you're the best. And I say that in my training. I don't want to be known for being cheap. I want to be known for being the best. And I want you to be known for being the best too. And then finally we go into our client module. So this is all about the 4 stages of the clients. We've got the client funnel because we want to automate this as much as possible. And just so you know, the one sourcing model isn't about, you know, pile them high and sell them cheap. It's about finding really good quality clients that are super profitable. And when you do that, you don't need that many clients. You need a small handful of clients. So this shouldn't be an overwhelming process for you. When you think about the daunting idea of, oh my God, I got to bring in like 10 clients every month, that's horrible. Hopefully we need to bring in 1 or 2 clients every 6 months, and that would be very nice, or every 3 months. And it all depends on the type of business model that you're doing, the pricing model, but still. So then we go into our funnel, how you get the clients, how you automate it. Then we go into our leads generation. So a lot of people are wondering, like, where do I find these clients? We're going to do a big step on that so you can really make sure you're covering all your bases. We do a step on the whole consulting process from start to finish because you want to wow these people. You know, you don't just want to bring people in. A lot of VAs will bring the leads in sometimes, but not able to secure the business. So consulting is about securing the business. Then the final step in this process is about maximizing the business and making the most that you can out of that client. Because once you find a really good client, you want to keep them, and they can also bring you other clients very easily. And then we're into level 6, which is teams. So level 6 is about the hiring process. This one is for you. And as you see here on the page, I've got for the one source and I've got for the team. So the hiring process and making sure you get the right people with you is all inside that first step. Then the other 3 steps are all about the intake, onboarding, and nurturing process of your team members. Because if you're bringing people into your business, that's huge. You know, that's a really huge thing. There's trust issues, and are they going to take care of things? And then there's the issue of what are my clients going to think about that? So really, we need to make sure that we handle this with care when it comes to teams. And everything that I know about building an incredible team that you're going to love working with, and they're going to love working with you, and the ones that show up, the ones that do what they say they're going to do, it's all built in there because I've literally done 3 steps of training. So those last 3 steps really of this, you know, when we're talking about the 24 steps, if you're planning on staying solo, really there's only 20. But if you get to that point where you're like, I need more from myself right now, then I'm taking all the hassle out of that process of taking new people in to support you and help you. And then finally, we've got our support. So we've got our co-working space, which many of you are already in. But if you're not in the co-working space, I'm offering you 50% off the subscription because you're inside One Sourcing. So you can come in, join the co-working space, come in and out when you want. But I will be holding weekly dedicated group sessions in there to make sure that you're following the training and you've got a place where you can come and ask questions to me. And also, I will be doing a forum inside there as well. So if you can't make the live group calls, you will be able to basically come in and leave your questions, and I will prompt you, because I do that in Co-News. Like, I prompt people about, you know, like, do you want to ask any questions this week? So there'll be that inside there. So there will be no excuses as to if you get stuck, what do I do? No excuses, because every week we can find a solution to that problem. Then we have our planner, which is our full guide planner, which contains all 6 levels, and our planner has got a place in there for you to write your goals, for you to write your notes and your questions to come and ask me. It's going to be in there so you can plan out when you're going to be watching your modules and what you're going to be doing with them, so you can print that off and stay accountable to yourself. So as long as, you know, we're doing these 2 things, you know, you've got the support network and you've got the planner, you should be golden. Then we've got our certificate for each level. So once you complete a level, you will get a certificate to say that you've completed that level. Also, this is encouraging you to keep moving forward. And then also, as always, and to anybody who already has One Sourcing, you should find One Sourcing in these levels already inside your membership area right now. We added all the One Sourcing people who already had One Sourcing into this. Obviously, it's going to be released consecutively in the same way. But I will update you and update the program, and you will constantly get this training being renewed without any additional charges. I don't charge for upgrades. I don't charge for new releases. I don't charge any of that. You pay once, it's yours forever. And anytime I change it, you'll get the changes. So I don't see why there is any reason why you would not want to move forward with this right now. So I'm going to be completely open with you, because this is the 43% discount. The whole entire One Sourcing package is £567 right now, or 6 payments of £99. So you can come and take advantage of that. Normally it's £997. You're taking away 43% off, which ends on the 19th of May. So the price will go up on the 19th of May. There's another thing I want to share with you. If you've been going through and saying, okay, well, I kind of feel like I need 1 or 2 or 3 of these levels, but I don't want all of them, then you've got the option then of just being able to get 1 level, and that is also 43% off. So if you come in here and click on any of these links, it will take you to a page and you will get the discount. So let's say, for example, you want the client level. We come in here, we click on the link. You will see up here the discount has been applied at the top of the page. So the client level right now is 3 payments of 55 quid or 140 quid for the whole level. So, and again, you can see that in there. If I come down here and I click on the foundation, this will also give you an indication of what it looks like. And again, this will be released on May 18th, but once you get access, this is going to be what it looks like. And this is all going to be released on the date that it goes live. So we've got the planner, we've got the co-working, I've got a little Let's Get Real talk for you there. And then obviously we go in here, everything comes with a book that comes with the modules, so you're able to use the book as a reference material. It comes with all of the video training, which is in each of the steps. So all of these are steps here: introduction, mindset, bootcamp, all steps. So if I'm working with you and you tell me, Michelle, there's a problem, like I'm not getting clients, or I'm doing this and I'm getting lazy, or in this, or I'm not profitable, I'm spending, you know, it's taking too much time, I will say go and do this step, or I will direct you to take a couple of steps in different places. But that's basically how it's going to work. All we do is we diagnose the problem and I send you back to the step. So we've got mindset, we've got bootcamp, and again, all of these video training, it's all video training with the book. Okay, so you'll be able to go through that completely. It starts on May 18th. This level opens up on May 18th. This is the level that's like 26 quid right now. So, I mean, it's a bargain. I don't know, like me and my husband, we go out for dinner and it costs more than that. So that's basically what the level will look like inside. And if you already have One Sourcing or you're about to purchase this, this is what it's also going to look like inside. Inside as well, we also have something that I want to draw your attention to. We have our accelerators. So inside the accelerators, let's just go back to here. You'll find them at the bottom. There is the brand kit, which gives you the full One Sourcing brand. You've got the ability to sign up for that if you want, if you would like to use the One Sourcing brand within your business. This is templates and logos and graphics and banners and website copy and loads and loads of things, which are all branded for One Sourcing. If you want to use those within your business, we have our build project. So if you want me to build your website, there is that available to you. We have the dossier, which is how to get high-end clients and all the marketing materials that are specifically tailored to you. These are all add-ons. These are all things that you, if you get to a certain point in your business at any time and you say, I'd like to go forward with that, you know, I'd like to do that, I'd like to get Michelle's help on that, we'll do it. But the one thing I want to draw your attention to here is the Protege. Now, the Protege is going to come up for you. It's inside the members area, but it's going to come up for you at 43% off as well. Okay, so if you decide, yeah, I like group work, but I would prefer to work with Michelle one-on-one, then this is going to come up for you also at 43% off. This is for if you have already taken One Sourcing and you just decide, I want to work intensively on this 3-month coaching program with Michelle, where we get on calls every week and Michelle can just tell me to get my act together. I nearly said the S word then and stopped myself. But basically, yeah, that's what it's going to be. So the Protege is a 3-month one-on-one coaching program where I personally will take you through every single step and every single level, and we will complete it together, and you will be able to come to me at a time of your choosing, at your choice, where we can mutually agree a time that we get together each week, and you can book that in, and every single week we will meet and we will go through the steps that you've taken. We will go through any issues that came up. Let's troubleshoot this as we go and get through this as we go. And then by the end of it, we'll have this incredible business. 3 months. Give me 3 months and let's see where we can go in that 3 months with your business. So the Protege is normally a 3-month intensive one-on-one coaching program, calls every week, full complete guidance. This will also come up at 43% off when you check out with One Sourcing. Okay, and if you are already in One Sourcing and you want to take this with me and do this with me again, then by all means, I will give you the 43% off. Just let me know. So that's basically this whole entire package in a nutshell. Do go ahead, check out the free training, check out the levels, check out whether you think you want to join. Do check out the foundation, because like I say, it costs less than the price of me and my husband going out for dinner. And if you have any questions whatsoever, I've got a few minutes here that I can stay with you, or alternatively you can email support@virtualmissfriday.com and you can you can ask questions there, or alternatively, I will just take you back and put the link again in the chat to the One Sourcing page where you can see everything that's happening. But do jump on this. 43% is a huge discount. It ends, my birthday is May 18th when we release the first module, when we start all this, but obviously it ends on the 19th, so you have until then to claim the 43% off. And if you claim your 43% off, obviously you've got them, so whenever they get released, they'll be released at the discount for you and it'll be done and dusted. So does anybody have any questions before we wrap this up? Because I know we're at the top of the hour now and my time's finished, but I'm definitely going to stay here if anybody has questions or they want to ask anything at this point. I will close this now and go into this camera. Thank you all so much for coming and for sitting through that. I do really appreciate it. And obviously, if you're watching the replay and you do have any questions, total package price $567. I am terrible at math. I already put it in there. It's 567, I think. Or 500, yeah. And that's for the complete thing. Or you can pay over monthly payments, which is 6 monthly payments of just £99, which is a total bargain. I've literally had VAs come to me spending thousands, like we're talking 5-6 grand on VA training, and they've come to me and said to me, I learned more in your first module than I learned in all of the other training that I've taken put together. So if that's testimony, that's very nice to me. But yeah, it's definitely a bargain, if I do say so myself. So yeah, it's just the 5, 6, 7 or 6 payments of £99. Will this benefit e-commerce? This program is for a service-based business. So if it's a SaaS, software as a service, then it could potentially benefit. But it's basically designed specifically for service-based businesses, and it is designed also for people who work with one-on-one clients. So if you're providing a service directly to a client, then it can also work. So it's a possibility, yes. It's a possibility. But in terms of e-commerce, in terms of product-based businesses and setting up digital product sales and things like that, I do have another course which is being revamped at the end of the year, which is more relating to Podia as a digital product-based business. So it depends on the type of e-commerce. But if I had more information about that, or you wrote to me, then I'd definitely be able to help you a bit more or answer that question more fully. So does anybody have any other questions or anything they want to share or add? I'm here, and it also benefits the people watching the replay as well, if anybody does have anything. I've been talking for so long. Thank you so much. Membership, yes, I do memberships. If you had a membership which was based on community building and or you had a membership that was based on a lot of one-on-one interaction rather than just kind of an automated membership. You know, you get those memberships where you kind of like don't interact with people, they're just paying a monthly fee for certain videos being released or something like that purely. I would probably say it's not, but if you want something that's really going to be about maybe high-end memberships where it's on a sort of coaching style level, or, you know, like you're bringing memberships into a group style project or group style coaching, then that could also be applicable, and it can also work. Don't know if I'm answering these questions right. Nikki says she can't wait to dive in. I can't wait for you to dive in. I'm super excited. And really, like, the foundation, even if you just get the foundation, then you're like, okay, like, I know the rules of the game now. That in itself is just huge. Yeah. And the really nice thing about this is it's not just about like learning and video training. This is super interactive. So when we go through the website module, you're going to actually see I've built you guys a website, like, and you're going to see exactly what it looks like. And if you say to me, I need this website, we can facilitate that for you. So, and also, of course, Go Brunch is featuring quite heavily in this program too. And I've built the whole Go Brunch thing in to try and potentially move away or get you guys moving away from Zoom, because there's so many things that you can do with Go Brunch that's really going to enhance I'm going to say the relationship with the client, but it's going to enhance the way you do business, which also is going to add that real wow factor to clients. I've had hardcore clients who are like, oh, I don't want to go into anything else, I want to stay in Zoom, and then I've put them into Zoom with me and I'm like, just try it, you know. And they're like, wow, this is so much fun. So I've definitely been converting some of my clients over as well. So Go Brunch is going to be featuring heavily, because also we want to give virtual assistants the diversity of a platform to be able to learn how to use the public eye to be able to generate clients. through, you know, not just one-on-one meetings, but other collaborations as well. So this is going to feature in it too. Okay, so I think we're done with the questions. I'll give it one final hello. Thank you again so much for sitting through that. I'm really excited about this. The one thing I'm more excited about more than anything else is the method of teaching this program and how shortcutty it is without shortcutting. You know, it's like if ever anyone wanted that quick and easy, which I've always said really is not a thing. There is no real quick and easy. But, you know, if we're talking about the quickest and the easiest, I think we've nailed it in this one because, you know, like I say, we're making this very bite-sized. We're putting it into pieces. We're being thorough and detailed, and it's controlled as well. So this is probably, you know, like training in its purest form of distilling like everything that people really, really need to know and leaving out the fluff. You know, if I'm going to have a final thought on this. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm super excited to welcome all you guys in here. You have just a few days to join OneSourcing at the 43% off. Just a few days. This is not something I'm doing. Again, this is purely because we're going into the first initial launch of it and the first initial beta. So that's why it's 43% off, which is crazy. It's crazy prices, but that's what it is. And let's just come in and welcome, and don't worry about the money. It's 99 quid a month if you want the entire package, which is a real steal for what you're going to be able to derive and gain. And I swear to God, if you want some perspective on this, you know, 99 quid a month, you can literally probably cover that in your first client, the whole cost of this entire package. You could cover that with your first client, because usually my minimum packages I suggest to people are approximately 500 to 1,000. So we're going to be aiming for around that as well in this. So thank you so much. Let's get to work. Let's do this thing. We start on the 18th. Gives you plenty of time that first couple of weeks. And don't forget, our first OneSourcing call for the group work together, for the co-working, is next week, and it will be on the schedule inside Co-News. So thank you so much, guys. Take care. Have a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are, and I shall see you inside OneSourcing. Bye.